I'm Daryl Gibson, and this is my heroic imagination assignment. Who is one of my heroes? I think me personally, I've had a lot of heroes growing up. I feel like there's been a lot of great influences within my life. I have a couple family members that are within the military, and just hearing some of the stories that they tell me, and like the courage that they had to go and fight for the freedom of our country. Those are heroes that I see every day. And then I've had heroes also. I've seen heroes online. I've seen the videos of people doing heroic things and people putting together uh, events or fundraisers or just volunteering their time for things that could help somebody else. And I think that those are all very heroic acts as well. But for me personally, I think the biggest hero in my life has been LeBron James. I think LeBron James is a great hero for me, honestly, because he's super inspirational to me. I feel like growing up, we both grew up around like this kind of the same way. Like, him growing up with a single mother and moving around a couple of times, as a kid, and, not letting that be like a like not letting that be a reason for him not to succeed in life. I feel like he's, gotten to the point in life where he's obviously being super successful now, and just the person he is now. I think it's just a great inspiration of that. No matter how you start, you can always get to where you want to be in life. And I think that he's a hero too, because not only does he impact my life, but he also impacts so many other people that he maybe have grown up the same way as us, or other people that haven't grown up like that. I just know that he impacts a lot of people with what he does on the court and off the court. I think he impacts lives off the court by him. He builds a school, and he's sending those kids to school on free tuition to where, and that school is one of the best schools in the area. I think stuff like that is just it shows a lot of how he is as a person and why I view him as a hero. I feel like he's impacted so many lives. I feel like he's touched lives that he hasn't even really, that he doesn't even know that he's reached. And I think that's super important to why I chose him as my hero. What are things that stop us from being heroic? I think that things that stop people from being heroic just to day to day, I would say the biggest factor would be maybe social media or social norms. I feel like when there's like in public nowadays, especially with social media, when something bad happens, the first thing that people do is they pull out their phones and record instead of try to helping whoever is in need. I feel like the first reaction for a lot of people is to be a bystander, to just watch or pull out their phone and record, and not really try to get involved and really help the person that needs help. And I feel like once people start doing that, I feel like all the other things that could stop somebody will be very limited. I don't think there's really anything as big as that stopping people from getting involved in being heroic on day to day. And what are some acts of heroism that I engaged in? I think for me personally, this past summer, I'm a I am an athlete myself, and so I play football here at UC. And just coming from where I come from, not a lot of uh, there's not a lot of people to look up to that have gone far with sports within my community. And I think that something that I just engaged in is, throwing football camps for little kids, just to get little kids engaged and let them see that they can, do those things in life, even though there's not a lot of people around the area showing them that, but that I can show them that they can do those things and they can chase those dreams that they want to have, because it wasn't really heavy when I was growing up. So being able to impact those kids and influence them and inspire them just like how others inspired me, I think is super important.